Hello all, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, yes.
A very pleasant evening to one and all who have gathered here today. On behalf of Dr. MGL Education Research Institute, a Department of Commerce, in collaborated with Emperor Research Foundation and Miles Education. I welcome you all for today's faculty development program. And so now we have Ms. Harita to deliver the guest profile.
Good evening to one and all. I'm Harita. Dr. G.H. Kerina Binu, Professor and HOD in the Department of Management Studies, SA Engineering College, Chennai. She has 20 years of teaching experience and her specialization in finance and marketing. Professor Kerina has obtained her doctorate from Pondicherry University in marketing. Her passion is into entrepreneurship and consultancy. She is certified as resource person by MSMEDI for entrepreneurship development. Dr. Kerina has been the ED cell coordinator and carried out several ED activities. During her tenure as coordinator, she has obtained 3 grants of ED cells and has successfully completed the projects. Published 9 papers in Scopus indexed journal, 5 in other pre-reviewed journals, and 14 papers in national and international conference. She has been interested in consultancy work and conducted real-time survey for an hospital and Manna Foods. She was awarded as Senior Educator and Scholar by National Foundation of Entrepreneurship Development in 2019. We heartily welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Harita. And now it's over to our guest.
Yes, thank you very much for the very good opportunity given to me, uh, to the Department of Commerce, MGR University, and my special thanks to Dr. S. Meena for inviting me to be the resource person for this session. I've been asked to give a presentation on a questionnaire, the preparation and the effective preparation of a questionnaire. This is the title given to me. I'm very much honored to be the resource person for this session. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, ma'am, it's visible.
The slides are visible, right?
Slides are not visible, but you're sharing your screen.
Yeah, once again.
Few minutes before it was visible only.
Okay. Is it now visible?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
I'll make it bigger.
Yeah, Pakka. Yes.
Still not pakka. Let me make it still more pakka. Yeah. I think now it's clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Guidelines for questionnaire preparation. This is a topic. And may know the level of my audience. I think I heard through Dr. S. Meena that we have very good number of audience who are mostly research scholars. Is it right that most of you are research scholars here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thanks a lot for your response. So, with this idea of my audience, let me proceed with this topic. It's actually a questionnaire. It's the most vital tool for any research, as you all know. Primary data is always the best data, which can portray a descriptive research in a very, very effective manner. So I'm really fortunate to talk about this topic. So my learning objective is to make you understand the construction of questionnaire, and I should also make you learn how to ask valid questions in your questionnaire. Okay, it's not simply constructing a questionnaire. You should ask valid questions and how to ask them correctly. That is also many times the questions are very, very correct. The questions are relevant, but the choice of words and the coherence in asking is not clear. So you lose the correctness of asking the question. It is not reached properly. Therefore, your responses may not also be valid. Therefore, my objective is also make you understand how to ask valid questions and how to ask them correctly. So with this is an objective. Let me proceed further. What is a questionnaire? Of course, you all know it's a research instrument, a valid tool to collect data or information. Excuse me. It's a tool for collecting information to describe, compare, or explain an event or situation, as well as knowledge, attitude, behaviors, and or socio-demographic characteristics on a particular target group. So that is the purpose of, and that is a meaning or a concept of what a questionnaire is. So in simple words, if we say what a questionnaire is, it is an effective instrument for any research that collects all vital information to complete your objective. Okay, so before the design of questionnaire, you should have or take into consideration some of the aspects such as the topic. What is your topic? Who you want to survey, who would be your respondents, who will fill this questionnaire. So depending upon the audience, we may have to reframe the questions, or we may have to make a sequence of the questions. So we need to know who you want to survey, the type of information you want to gather, your budget, within which time you want to collect the data, within which cost you want to collect the data, because depending upon the cost, you can cover extensive data, or you can even limit your data, which will become a very good sampling for your study. So how quickly you need the information depending upon all these important consideration, you have to design a questionnaire. So before designing, you need to be clear on these aspects. Design of a questionnaire, as you see, it has to have certain things in concept. 10 steps to a good survey design. I saw this in net. I found it to be very, very interesting. So I've taken it. So first thing is identify what you want to cover in a survey. Put questions that are necessary. The second thing is put questions that are necessary. And third is keep it short and simple. Okay, and the fourth is ask one question at a time. Many times this is a problem. Double barreled questions are there in a questionnaire, which always confuses. How many times you visit a parlor in a month? Are you satisfied with the visit in the parlor? So such type of two double barreled questions should not be there in any questionnaire. Avoid using jargons you may be familiar, but your audience may not be familiar. So please avoid jargons in the questionnaire. And you have to decide whether it should be an open-ended question or closed-ended question. I'll talk about open-ended and closed-ended later. And spend time to design your survey. Analyze the responses after collecting. Put a summary report together and conclude your plan of action. Okay, so I'll just skip this because I've already told about it. So when you format a questionnaire, these are the things which you should keep in mind. The open questions, whether it should be open-ended question or whether it should be a closed-ended questions. There are different types of questions which you can ask in a questionnaire. Okay, very common. We have open-ended questions. Like you give us information about your schooling. What do you feel about this product? When do you want to buy a product? Without giving options, you can ask open-ended questions. These open-ended questions solicits or brings a lot of information. It gathers more information, but very, very difficult to codify. enter the data and analyze, because every respondent will respond in his own way, in his own style. The responses would be there, so you'll not be able to easily codify it. You'll not be able to enter the data and analyze. A simple example is that we have nearly 1,000 and odd first year students in our college. So I was assigned a task of collecting data about the previous school they studied, and also about basic information as to why they have chosen RSA Engineering College, and what is their, who referred the college to them. All this information I was asked to collect. Okay, and the main reason for that collection was I was asked to find out the schools from which the students came. Okay, so what I thought was, I prepared a questionnaire through Google Forms. I prepared a questionnaire. I gave options for all the questions, because I can ask as to how did they come to know about the college, who referred. I can give options: friends, siblings, neighborhood. So such options I can easily give. So when it came for the question as to which school you studied, okay, I did not give any options, because student would have studied in any part of India. He could have did his schooling in any school. So I could not give any option. I left the question as it is. Okay, one simple example was that I gathered data from all the 1,000 students. So when I was codifying it, or when I was analyzing the data, you know, there were nearly 1,200 students. I got nearly 1,000 schools, but where many were repeated. Like, for example, SBOA school. Okay, one student would have typed SBOA in capital. One would have typed it as SBOA in smaller, lower case. One would have used as S.B.OA school. So different responses I got. So I thought I could not analyze the data very, very clearly. So whenever we leave the respondents for an open-ended question, it becomes very, very difficult to codify, enter, and analyze the data in a scientific manner. So it took time for us. I had to rework on each of the school. So I had to make it uniform. I standardized how it has to be, where I had to manually work on the column which the students have filled. So it was again tiring for me and time consuming for me. Whereas this problem will not arise in a closed-ended question, where we can collect only lesser information. Okay, you cannot collect as many information as possible, but only limited data, or whatever options we give. Only from that we can collect the data, but it is very easy to codify, enter, and analyze. Analysis is very easy thereafter. Okay, so open-ended questions, as I already said, it helps collect qualitative data. But for qualitative data, it is always the best is the open-ended questions, where you're not limiting the respondent. He answers in a very, very free form with little to no restrictions. Like examples of open-ended questions are that: what are your expectations? What are your requirements for this product or from this product? What do you see as the next action step? What is most important priority in your life? Why it is so important? So such type of questions you can ask in a open-ended question, and you can get the perception of your respondent in a very, very exhaustive manner. Whereas closed-ended questions, you have to go for options where multiple choices can be given, type in which a respondent has to select only among the choices you have given. Okay, have you been stressed lately? Yes, no. Or it can be agree, strongly agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree. Such type of options we can give along with the questions, so that it becomes closed-ended. Choices are limited for the respondents also. Okay, and there are different types of multiple choice question depending upon the nature of our topic, depending upon the level of data we need. We have to choose the type of multiple choice question. The most common type of multiple choice question is Likert scale. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Are you all with me? Because I am not
Yeah.
able to see the audience. You are at one end and I am on the other end. Are you all with me? Okay. So Likert scale, very often used. Mostly it is 5-point scale. Some people use it as a 7-point scale, and it varies. So this is an example of a Likert scale where agreement to a information, agreement to a statement can be obtained. The website was easy to navigate. So you have given different choices. Checklist type, where you have to checklist tick whichever is applicable for you. Which of the following would you like to see in the showroom? You can choose more than one option. In the earlier Likert scale, you cannot go for more than one option in a row. You cannot select both strongly agree and agree in the same row. Okay, so you have to only take only one choice over there. Whereas in checklist type, you can select any, whichever you want to see in the showroom. I would like to see a SUV vehicle. I would like to see a hatchback vehicle. I would like to see a sedan, or all the above I would like to see. So I can go for any option here. Checklist. Rank order. See, in the example I've given you, I've given ranking from 1 to 5 scale. Okay, one with 1 being your favorite option. Which would you prefer to be the topping? Okay, so you have to scroll into the scroll bar and select whichever is more applicable. Being your favorite, if it is favorite, 1. Least favorite, go to the 5. Okay, another type of multiple choice question would be rating scale, which is very common. Again, you have to rate certain factors, okay, on the basis of a 7-point scale. In a scale of 7, where would you rate the waiting time of an hospital, or waiting time in a say a restaurant? How would you rate the restaurant on the basis of the waiting time from a scale of 1 to 7, where 1 is poor and 7 is excellent? Okay, so this is one type of questionnaire. Okay, and excuse me, and the common mistakes we make in the questionnaire. Okay, so this is one of the question I would like to share with you. What was the first drink you had today? Okay, the black lettered are the options given in the questions. Okay, in the questionnaire, these were the options given. What was the first drink you had today? Tea, coffee, water, juice. Okay, so what might be wrong in this question? The thing which is wrong in this question is there may be persons, respondents, who haven't had a drink today. You would have not had any drink today. Okay, or other than these things like a tea, coffee, water, juice, you would have taken an energy drink. Okay, like you have now Herbalife and other drinks. Okay, you would have gone for Herbalife drink or any other protein drink, which you can ask him to specify. Okay, please state. So any questionnaire should cover all the aspects. See, what happens is, if you're going to give this questionnaire to a respondent, if the respondent hasn't had anything in the morning, okay, if he is on a fasting, or if he has had some other drink in the morning, he would not at all fill this questionnaire, is it not? So thereafter he loses interest in your questionnaire because his option is not covered, his response is not captured properly. So he loses interest in your questionnaire, and thereafter the next question also he may not take it up very seriously. Okay, therefore you have to find out what are all you have to step into the shoes of the respondents, and you have to think of what are all the options you have to add in your questionnaire. Okay, and another option, another common mistake, even our students make this mistake. Sorry, it is not captured properly. I have not taken the screenshot properly of this. The common mistake here is that the questionnaire says that what is your age group? 0 to 18, 18 to 30, and the checkbox you have to tick as to where in which age group you belong to, 30 to 45 and 45 and above. Of course, all ages are covered here. What is the mistake here? Can anybody say what is the mistake here?
0 to 18, 90 to 30,
Yeah,
31 to like that.
exactly. So all the options you give here should be mutually exclusive. Here, a person who is in the age of 18 exactly, or a person in the age of 30, where you would tick, is it not? So there arises the problem. You confuse the respondent there. Okay, so that is the common mistake. Even our MBA student, when we ask him to prepare a questionnaire and come, this is what they commit most of the time. They do this mistake, 0 to 18. And another mistake where they do the same type of mistake is that, what is your family income? Less than 50,000? The next option would be 50,000 to 1 lakh. 1 lakh to 1 lakh 50,000. So such type of questions would be asked where it is not mutually exclusive. When you take one option, there should not be any scope for your respondent to choose the next option also. Okay, only one option should be applicable for his response. What he thinks in his mind should be reflected, or what is the reality should be captured in only one response. Therefore, this is another common mistake we should not commit in any of our questionnaire. Okay, so same thing. Option should be mutually exclusive. And another common mistake we make in the questionnaire is that, what did you think about the waiting time? Excellent, very good, good, average, poor. What do you think is the mistake here? Can somebody try? See, average is a middle order, a neutral kind of a response.
Ma'am, can I give a try, ma'am?
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, see, ma'am, the question is, what did you think about the waiting time? So
Yeah.
the options are wrong, probably, ma'am. It should be in the some other option should be given, ma'am. Rather than being excellent, very good, good, average, poor. Is it so?
Your name? Because I'm not able to see the names.
I'm Sneha, ma'am.
Yeah, Sneha, it's a very good try. I appreciate that you're able to think you're with me. I thank you for that. I think maybe that is also another way of, you would have perceived it to be a wrong option. But my point, what I want to stress here is, see, for good, like if a patient is satisfied with the waiting time, he has got three options on the better side, is it not? Good, very good, excellent are the options he has. And if there is no opinion, like he comes on the average. One more is there, poor. So there is nothing as bad, is it not? See, when you're giving three options for being good, should you not also give three more options for bad or worse performance? Is it not? Your response should be equally scattered between good and bad. If you have three good, there should also be three supporting responses for capturing the non-performance of a particular a particular item or a particular factor. This is what I want to say. See, bad response is captured only through one. Exactly, is it not? Where you could go for some more also. Poor, very poor, worst. When you say excellent, there should also be worst, is it not?
Ma'am, can we use then satisfied, highly satisfied, those words,
Yeah.
ma'am?
Yeah, of course. But if this was the question, my point is not what type of options or what type of responses you are asking. It is not my point here, dear. I just want to tell, like when you're framing, even this is not a bad choice. Excellent, very good, good, average, poor is not a bad choice. But between good and bad response also, there should be equal spread, is it not? Option should be balanced. When you have got three responses for good, for the bad responses also, there should be three options. Okay, where average stands in between. Clear? Any differing opinion?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Clear, clear, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Another common mistake which we make is, how would you rate the appointment booking? So what might be wrong in this? Okay, how would you rate the appointment booking service using the website? Good, average, poor. Say exactly. One is on the good side, one is on the bad side. one is on the moderate side. Another thing, so if a person has to give his opinion about website, like all the three you have asked a person respondent to respond, is it not? You're
Ma'am,
asking the respondent to give his opinion about website. You're asking the respondent to give his opinion about phone. You're asking the respondent about his booking experience through reception. So,
ma'am,
ah,
but actually only one we will be one or two options we may be
yes,
using, no, ma'am.
yes. A respondent would have gone only for website,
Website or
where
phone.
he would have not taken phone or reception via booking. So in that case, not applicable should also be there, is it not? Because he has not gone for website booking, or he has not gone for phone. He used only the reception for booking. A person who has used phone booking will opt for not applicable for website and reception, is it not? So use opt-out responses appropriately. Not applicable should also be involved in this type of questions. So depending upon the nature of question, you should also add a particular column such as not applicable. I'm not at all bothered about this. I didn't use this. So I am not in a position to give my opinion on this. So you should give that choice also to your respondent, so that you capture what is there in their mind exactly. Otherwise, imagine if this option is not given, what happens? What happens when you are filling? Imagine yourself, you are filling it through a mobile phone. Okay, if you don't select all the options, if you don't select website, phone and reception, if you're not going to tick all the three, you cannot submit, because it will say pending. You have to choose everything. You have skipped one line. You have not answered this question. So you will be keep on getting these responses. So even if you have not used website, even if you have not used reception, you are forced to give some response, is it not? Which may not be the exact your mindset. What is in your mind is not captured then. So this is not the right way of asking a questionnaire. Wherever applicable, you have to give opt-out responses properly. Okay, so these are all the common mistakes people commit in a questionnaire, so that is to be avoided. So how to avoid? Again, I would repeat, how to obtain valid information: ask purposeful questions, ask concrete questions, use time periods based on importance of the questions, use conventional language. Don't use languages which are very technical, which use jargons, and you keep it very simple. As already said, keep it simple and short. Okay, a principle of KISS is to be followed. Keep it simple and short. Conventional language should be used. Use complete sentences. Use shorter questions, so that your respondents are happy always. Okay, and before administering any questionnaire to your audience, before taking it to the public forum, always do a pilot survey. Pilot survey, anybody knows what is it?
Ma'am, before going for the main study, just giving a trial and seeing with the questionnaire whether the questionnaire has any mistakes or any flaws, or whether we're able to collect whether we are receiving the exact answers for which questions we're seeking.
Exactly. So before taking the questionnaire to the public domain, or before collecting it from the main audience or the respondents, you need to make a pilot survey. I have a very good experience in that. My PhD study was very extensive, where I did a two-part study. My topic was on appearance management behavior of young Indian women. It was on cosmetic usage. One part of my study was what are the factors influence women to buy cosmetics, and second part was that what are the psychological factors, what is the impact of using the cosmetic, and after effects, psychological effects of using the cosmetics, like life satisfaction, and then well-being, self-esteem, self-concept building. Okay, and then their what to say that I've already said, no, life satisfaction. These are all the overall satisfaction, facial satisfaction. These were all my factors. So since it was, one is psychological, behavioral, and the other one is marketing. Okay, factors influencing the cosmetic buying behavior and psychological factors. Okay, after the use of cosmetics. These were the two parts of my study where I had to do extensive study on collecting information, various information. So what happened was, I had to fit into all the factors in the first part and also into the second part, because each is this self-esteem. It had so many questions. We are allowed to, or we are encouraged to use the already existing scales. Like we have for a self-esteem, Rosenberg scale, okay, where the scale has got nearly 22 items. Similarly, when I was asked to do on self concept, I was shocked to see that there were 46 items in that. And in each of these scales, I was finding so many items. So I just I've taken all these scales and I have constructed a questionnaire and I administered it on a particular college of students. Okay. So when I gave it to the students, a pilot survey, two colleges actually I chose. I gave it to the students, where my altogether my all the questions came to nearly 92 initially. Okay, so when I administered, my my respondents really lost interest. Okay, initially it was all very interesting questions. What are the cosmetics you use? When do you go to beauty parlor? So what do you do? What was the last facial treatment you did? So such questions were initially very, very interesting for the girls to answer. Okay, and gradually when the questions went for the first cosmetic in their mind, their questions on their self concept, self esteem, okay, life satisfaction. So all these questions, no, I mean, page after page it went, and literally after say about 40 questions, the girls were simply ticking. Okay, there was no meaning attached to it. It was just they were ticking the questions without any purposeful understanding of the questionnaire. They were fitting up, filling the questionnaire in. What happens in Rosenberg self-esteem scale, like some of the questions are negative questions. Okay, negative worded questions. So what happens is, when they are choosing the negative worded, the score goes down. Though a girl has a self-esteem, high self-esteem, because out of disinterest, when they are choosing a wrong question, by practice, strongly agree. Sometimes it may carry, most of the time, strongly agree will be having a positive impact. But in this scale, Rosenberg scale, what happens is, it is a negative worded question where strongly agree pulls down the score. Okay, you get my point. It gives one score, whereas all the others strongly agree. Positive worded questions will give 5 points, whereas negative worded strongly agree will give only 1 point. So if the girls have read the question properly, they would have gone for strongly disagree. But without reading, they have ticked my questionnaire. So all the responses were very, very low, which was the result. The basic analysis when I did, I found that the responses were not proper, were not conveying the meaning, was not fitting into my model. So then I understood that it is because of the questions. I also spoke to the girls. They said that, ma'am, it is too lengthy. Okay, then I sat on the questionnaire. I found the shortest version of the questions. Then I did exponential factor analysis. Okay, then shortened the items, whichever had a factor loading, and tree plot of more than one only I chose, and where I limited the number of items. Suppose if Rosenberg has got more than 10, more than 20 items, I reduced it to 10 items based on the factor analysis which I did. I reduced it to 10 items, and only those 10 items I brought into the questionnaire. Similarly, in each of the scales, I reduced it based on the factor analysis and brought into the questionnaire, where finally my questionnaire came to only 56 questions. Okay, so when I administered the 50 questions, it was also traveling beautifully. Like, it covered various dimensions of a girl's mindset. So it was, since it was now easy for the girls to answer, they took time to answer it. I never I When I administered my questionnaire also, I told the girls that let them read it on their free time. Okay, I went and met them only when they were in the free time. I asked them to read it properly, and only then I gave them enough time period to complete the questionnaire, and only then I received it back. And this time, okay, with the bitter experience of the pilot survey, when I gave it for the final survey with all these modifications, corrections, okay, and minimizing, changing the jargons, okay, and I even reduced some of the questions which the girls did not want to answer about their body shape. So all those I removed, and when the questionnaire came out, it was nice. All this I could learn only based on the pilot survey. So before taking your questionnaire to the main forum, do a pilot survey. So when I did this after the pilot survey, I really made use of it. I got a lot of inputs based on the pilot survey. I changed entirely modified my questionnaire, and my questionnaire finally could elicit very, very good responses from my audience. Okay, so that is why I wanted to share here. Okay, and I hope you all know that there are different types of choices and measurement of responses. Okay, like we have nominal scale of measurement in a questionnaire. Different types of questions can be asked, like nominal scale, ordinal scale type of questions, interval scale. You can, where the responses can be in any of these scales. Ratio scale. Hope many of you would have done your research methodology. You know what it is. Nominal scale, the scale quality is none, or it only collects the name related data or numeric related data, like name of a student, register number of a student, okay, color of a bag. Such things can be obtained. Such are all called as the nominal scale, where it comes under qualitative research. Ordinal scale, it only orders the data, orders the responses, where you can rank, okay, rank first rank, second rank of the student, but there won't be any equal intervals in the rank. For example, the first rank student would have scored a mark of, say, 100 out of 100. The second rank student would have scored a mark of, say, 96. The third rank student would have scored a mark of 86. The gap interval between the first and the second rank student is 4 marks, whereas the gap or interval between the second and the third rank student is 10 marks. So there is no commonness or equality on the interval. Okay, so such type of, it is only ranking based on the occurrence. Okay, such type of data such type of scaling where we do is called as ordinal scale. And the third type is interval scale. Very good example is thermometer, that captures the temperature. Okay, where we have interval, proper interval, okay, where we have ordering 0 to 10, or you have even minus degrees, okay, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40 degrees Celsius. So you can go like this. Okay, similarly the interval can also be equal, 0 to 10, 10 to 20 equal interval, 20 to 30 equal interval. But only problem in an interval scale is that, especially with this, when we take the example of a thermometer temperature, the only difficulty is that there is no absolute zero. You don't have an absolute zero, so which is required for a normal data. Okay, because in temperature you can say that there is 0 degrees Celsius. 0 degrees Celsius is also some temperature. It conveys certain meaning. It is not absolute zero. Where absolute zero is that it doesn't have any value at all. Okay, so to overcome this, there is another scale called as ratio scale, where ratio scale has got it has magnitude, it has got equal interval, and it also has absolute zero. For example, weighing machine. Okay, where when there is nothing in the weighing machine, it has to give you the scale of 0. Height, when you measure a height of a person, 0 refers to no height at all. Age, 0, no age at all. Okay, so 0, 1 conveys a meaning. Weight, 100 kg conveys a meaning. 0 kg conveys a meaning. Okay, so these are the different type of scales you can use in your your questionnaire. Okay, and there are different types of survey which we can do depending upon the nature of your research, depending upon the topic. You can do different types of research. Okay, I think you are all aware of this, like cross-sectional survey, longitudinal survey. Cross-sectional survey is that you collect information at one point of time. Okay, at the same point of time, you collect survey. All researchers we do, I mean your MBA degree research or a PhD research, whatever it is, it all comes under, mostly comes under cross-sectional survey. Longitudinal survey, where the research or data is collected, when it is collected at different points of time, okay, then it is called as the longitudinal survey. Government sometimes collects data at different points of time. School may collect data about its students in different years. Medical college students opinion about medicine in the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, you can collect data. Okay, customers opinion before buying a product and after buying a product. Okay, a student's opinion about a class, about, I mean, a difference in his in his behavior before attending the training, after attending the training, before attending psychological counseling, after attending psychological counseling, what is the behavioral change. So such type of when survey is collected in different time period, then it comes under longitudinal survey, where we have different types of longitudinal survey, such as, like, based on what I have said, there could be trend study, cohort study, and panel study. Trend study is that where you can have different sample, different points of time, if there is any change in the question, I mean the pattern of the buying. Okay, I'll just change this. We'll move on to the next. And the questionnaire can be collected in different formats, self-administered, it could be in person, and nowadays most of the researchers, most of the PhD surveys are collected through email and online platforms. Is it not? We have different types of online survey and email survey, where we can quickly collect data. And there are also web-based surveys, okay, where you have docs.google form survey, very easy, you can collect quickly the data. Nowadays most of the student feedback forms we collect only through Google Forms. Course and survey we collect through Google Form. Parent survey we collect through Google Form. It's a very easy tool, easy to understand also. You can collect, you can use any number of any kind of responses in it. And there are also, you have a free online surveys.com, surveymonkey.com, very common. Okay, so this is an example of Google online form. Online free online survey, surveymonkey.com. These are the different types of survey, web assisted survey, which you can do. Okay, so I wish and I hope that all of you make a very good use of your questionnaire. Okay, understand your topic, understand your audience, make your questionnaire very effective, because it's a very good research instrument through which you can collect a lot of data. So I think you should be able to collect a lot of information, and hope this session is useful for you. And thank you very much for being a good audience. Thank you very much. So that's all from my end. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Once Albert Einstein said, if you cannot explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. So in that way, you have given us a very good session. It was a wonderful session and engaging session as well. So we also looking forward for many few more sessions as well, ma'am. And we are grateful to acknowledge you with the appreciation certificate.
Madam,
Ma'am, could you just stop presenting your screen, ma'am?
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us. I thank our actually, sir, for organizing this duality session for us. And I also thank all the event organizers and event conveners. Thank you all the faculty members for joining me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all for this.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Meena and the organizers for conducting this very good program, FDP. Thank you very much. And you were also doing a very good job, Amali.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.